What's up, gangsters? Today we're cracking this brand new box of 2017 Panini Contenders draft picks, basketball and mostly college product. Lonzo Ball and Markel Fultz on the cover. I hope that both of these guys are also inside this box. Yeah, and this is how the base card looks like. Some actually basic info at the back. Typical Contenders design, and here comes this Sudanese Australian pride thorn maker. I hope I would pull him last year when he was a rookie. Actually, along with Malcolm Brogdon, one of the hottest rookie, another rookie from last year. And this is some kind of a parallel of Jaylen Brown, actually also a hot rookie last year, and you see it's some kind of a cracked ice or something like that. It's actually numbered to 23. That's a really strange number, some kind of a green cracked ice or something like that parallel, but unfortunately Brown is not a rookie anymore. And Nigel, is this that's an out of Nigel William Curse, Georgia Bulldog. Actually, I've been to Georgia Bulldogs football stadium, but that's actually Gonzaga Bulldog. Like, I thought it's because both Gonzaga and Georgia are Bulldogs. But he is a March Madness finalist from this year. I never heard about him. But I'm glad he got drafted. And this is actually an insert card, game day ticket of Frank Mason, University of Kansas Jayhawk. And another good game day ticket of Jordan Bell. And school colors. TJ Leaf is not the UCLA player I was looking to pull from this box. I think you all know what kind of player I'm looking to pull. And a legacy, Klay Thompson, Washington State, and now Golden State Warrior. Actually, I think Markel Fultz is also from Washington, but University of Washington, not Washington State. Kristaps Porzingis, who is playing super well at Eurobasket now. And Jaylen Brown, regular card, and the Greek Freak. It's not clear why they included Derrick Rose as a New York Knicks, because he already is a Cleveland Cavalier. And at the same time with Chris Paul, and D'Angelo Russell, I get three players in a row who already switched their team. Why not? If you can get a photo in a new team uniform, why to include these players at all? And Dwayne Wade, James Harden, who will actually have decent chances to win the cup, along with Chris Paul. Actually some retro players here as well. Magic Johnson. Unfortunately, Magic Johnson is also not a UCLA player I was looking to pick. And actually, I think George Jackson. Look how terrible is the pen. It's simply unacceptable for Panini to use this type of pen. That's actually a hard auto, but the pen terrible. I think Josh Jackson is like a top 10 pick. I think it's not said here, but that's actually a good pick, and it's such a pity that the auto is what it is. Oh my God, Markel Fultz actually, University of Washington Husky. Not an auto, unfortunately, but. Dennis Smith. Dennis Smith was drafted by Dallas, and it's actually a lot of people think that he was drafted really low. I think he was drafted 9th overall. A lot of people were expecting him to go in top 5. And Magic Johnson, Larry Bird legacy, and Blake Griffin, Will Hernan Gomez, and Shaq. Magic Johnson. Actually, these boxes are really hot. I paid like almost $160 to get this box. That's kind of unusual for Durantula, for a college product to cost that much. But and Wesley Wundu, actually, which college is it? Like Penn State? No, like it's Case. I think it's Kansas State in Manhattan, not Manhattan, New York, but Manhattan, Kansas. That's it's not clear. Like some autos are sticker autos, like this Wesley Wundu, but some are like George Jackson hard autos. So yeah, not a great rookie. And Luke Kennard, Justin Patton, and inserts are kind of boring. I think they're even more boring than regular base cards. Legacy and Andrew Wiggins, AD. Again, Thon Maker, I think that's a double. Paul George and Malcolm Brogdon, actually Rookie of the Year. Larry Bird from Indiana University, but it's a little bit strange that some players are featured in their Russell the Beast Westbrook and some in university uniforms. And Ben Simmons, yeah, never played an NBA game, so just a photo. I think that's the same photo they used like in Hoops and Prism last year. And Dwayne Beckham, that's an auto. That's actually I never heard about Dwayne Beckham, but already now I have a lot of respect for him because he at least bothered to put some effort into his auto, unlike some other players. And again, Dwayne Beckham, regular, either Florida State Seminoles, yeah. What was his draft number? No, there is no information about the draft number, and it seems that every pack has the same, like the contents in the same order. So first come base cards, then auto, and after the auto comes come the inserts. Chris Dunn, the rookie from last year. Dwayne Wade and DeMar DeRozan, Carmelo Anthony. So I think I still have 2 autos left in the hope for Jason Tatum, Lonzo Ball, or Markel Fultz leave, but instead I get a yeah, that's a terrible auto. And Edmond Summer, who is the guy? Xavier. I think Xavier is not a strong program, not a very strong program. I don't think they ever make it to Sweet 16 or anything like that, like usually. Oh, Lonzo Ball! Oh my God! And not an auto, but an insert of Lonzo Ball, which is always nice to pull. Although not an insert, just regular base. And actually Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen was a 7th overall pick by Minnesota, but then traded to Chicago. He actually won. I think he's the only top 10 draft pick which doesn't have an auto in this product, actually playing for Team Finland in Eurobasket now. LeBron James, of course, he is not as talented as Lonzo Ball, but still a nice pool. And Steph Curry, probably number 3 player in the league after Lonzo Ball and LeBron James. And my last auto is Tyler Lydon. And terrible sticker auto, and and disappointing autos. And Jonathan Isaac is actually, I think he was like pick 6th or 7th overall, and Jason Tatum. Why I'm not getting this Jason Tatum and Jonathan Isaac out as Tony Bradley, Contenders, Legacy of AD. What's the idea of including like Kyrie in this product? He is already Boston Celtic. It should be like Isaiah Thomas instead of him. Jimmy Butler, also like a lot of players with non-updated uniforms. It's and like half of the players are in their non-updated uniforms with the old teams. It's kind of a set for the first 17-18 product. My best cards probably were this Josh Jackson, University of Kansas Jayhawk, auto numbered to 99. Unfortunately, the auto is going out of bounds, and the pen is old as I don't know what. And this Jalen Brown cracked ice insert number to 23. Kind of disappointing box for $160, I should say.